college campuses have turned into indoctrination stations, really. It's no longer about getting educated. It's about getting indoctrinated. And this is where all this cancer is coming from. They're like,
Yeah.
I have a young man who is in my coaching community, 18 years old. He's going to school to become a computer science engineer, right? And he showed me his curriculum, and they're telling me I'm bad because I'm white.
Oh, yes.
And it's just
and
like,
male.
yeah.
Forget it.
And he's like, I'm from Lithuania. Like, I'm not even American.
Right.
You know? But it's insane. And it's happening in these college campuses. And so there seems to be some kind of root force like pushing this. I don't know if it's the lizard people or whatever conspiracy theory.
Well,
you
I
know.
think, I mean, we do a lot of work on the World Economic Forum here
Right.
and
Klaus
a lot
Schwab,
of work on
terrible
Klaus
person.
Schwab. And these people have a deep financial and otherwise investment in men and women not forming a union.
Right.
And them being less attracted to each other and not building a family and
Right.
not building that stability
Right.
and being unhealthy and being depressed. So the reason I always tie that in is because I'm like, look, that society is breaking down. You need to wake up and not be part of that and
Right.
make a different choice and
Yes.
understand that there are people that have a financial interest in you collapsing.
Right.
You know, part of that collapse is the breakdown of the family. We also did a segment. I covered, you know, the you want to talk about a real pandemic, the pandemic of fatherlessness that
Right.
these kids are experiencing.
Right.
So many boys growing up, and there's no male figure in that home.
And that was me growing up. You know, no father. My father left when I was young, and then he died when I was 15, and I never met him.
So how did you overcome that? Because it is you know, a concern for a child that grows up in that. You know, how do they make up for that loss?
It's hard. It's really, really hard. And that's why I started what I do with the Masculine Empowerment Network, right? That's how the core four components kind of came to light, because the consistent problems were, I don't have money because I don't know where to go get a job and where to do something with my life. I'm fat because I've been following the fucking food pyramid. I don't have a girlfriend because I've been following the simp programming, and then I have no self-esteem because I was raised without a father and I wasn't taught how to backbone, right? So you have all these things that I realized that it took me years and years and years to figure this stuff out. But finally, I was able to, you know, sum it up into core four: money, muscles, game, frame. So, I mean, for the average guy, it's hard. These guys are hurting. Like when I do my, you know, I do group coaching sessions on Zoom, right?
Oh.
And it's like kind of a running joke between the leaders in the group, and like how soon in are one of these guys going to break down and cry? Because these guys are suffering behind the scenes, but they don't let anybody know because they do have masculine pride. But these dudes are truly suffering behind the scenes, and so that's why I've been doing what I'm doing. Like, again, I don't do it for the clout, I don't do it for the fame, none of this nonsense, you know. I do it because these guys need help, and I sincerely care, and I really want to do that to help as many men as possible. And then going back to wanting to break up the family, right? That is so important, because the man is the head of the household.
That's right.
The man is the head of the family, right? And, you know, you're married, you have one child?
I have one child.
Right? And so that's a pretty strong family bond you have, right? If I were to offer you $5 million for your child, you would say no.
No amount of money.
Right. Exactly.
No way.
And you see, that's what Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, the elites, that's what they hate. Because when two people come together, right? Because if you're rich, you're famous, you have an alliance, but this guy's with you because you have this much money, this guy's with you because you have that much money, you could buy them the other way. I couldn't give you $5 million to get rid of your son.
Or my husband, for that matter.
You see,
which is another point.
I love it.
There's
I
no
love it.
amount of money.
I love it.
Truthful, like that's my baby doll.
Some women would sell their husbands.
Husband for sure. I think husband for sure. There are women out there that would be like, oh, well, maybe not for 5, but how about 7 or 8?
Right.
They'd be in the negotiation room on that one.
Exactly.
But there's no dollar value.
And then the same thing for me. If somebody said, listen, I want you to like get rid of your brother or get rid of your sister, I'd be like, there's no way, because you can't buy that family bond.
right.
And they don't want that, right? So because I tell the guys this, I say, look, get into my programs, figure out your dating problems, sort them out, and then move on. I don't tell guys, I don't believe in this eternal player lifestyle that a lot of guys get caught up in, right? And then next thing you know, they're 40, they're coming up on 50, they're like, damn, I'm going to die alone. And I just don't think it's a good solution for guys just to do this endless player life. I say have fun for a little bit for sure, but ultimately get your shit together and then look to find a good woman, lock her down, and keep the government out of it as much as possible. Because
out of everything.
Because when I see like masculinity coaches or something saying, just man up and marry that chick, I don't agree with that. I don't. Protect yourself. Don't walk stupidly into any deal.
Right.
And when you get into a relationship with a woman and then you involve the government, it's a bad deal for the man by default. So you got to play your cards smart. You know, the laws are better
Okay.
outside. Like in Japan, for example, there's no divorce, there's no alimony. During COVID, right? Or excuse me, there's no alimony, there's no child support. There is divorce, but it's very, very low. Actually, during COVID, divorce went down in Japan. In
Oh,
America,
interesting.
it went up. And in Japan, if you catch your spouse cheating, you can sue them for $10,000 and the person that they're cheating with, man
And
or
the
woman.
person.
Yes.
Oh, the side piece. Getting that charge.
Accountability.
There you go.